Hello? Hello. Everybody, happy Monday. A bank holiday Monday, no less. And you join us here for part 5 of our ancient world wonders. And tonight, friends, well, this is kind of different because, well, we're taking a helicopter. See? This is going to be loads of fun. And let's see what happens. So we step into yet another chapter of our Monday Night Adventure series. We journey to lands steeped with ancient mystery and timeless legend. With a special thanks to the very legendary Jefferson 2001, whose remarkable dedication brought these wonders back to life, while we set course for a place of worship and wonder. This, tonight, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. This place is mad. I was learning all about it today. Wait to hear this. The Temple of Artemis, in the golden era of about 550 BC, well, the temple was raised in honour of Artemis, goddess of the hunt and the wilderness and fertility. It was a sight to behold, colossal in scale, with 127 marble columns reaching to the heavens, each a silent guardian to the realm of God and men, on a sanctuary of gods and men. I'm not reading this. A sanctuary of profound beauty. Well, it was decorated with carvings and sculptures that told the stories of strength, devotion, and creation. Though today the temple is reduced to just fragments, in its prime, it was one of the greatest achievements of its age. This thing was one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world. Our journey tonight, well, we're going to start off here in Turkey in Antalya, Lima Tango Alpha India Airport, as we head across the Anatolian heartlands with a stop at a place called Denzili, Kardak Airport. We were here before, Lima Tango Alpha Yankee. We're going to take on some fuel, and from there, friends, we ramble over to the GPS coordinates, hovering over the very spot where the Temple of Artemis once stood. Our journey will conclude over at the Seleucid F's Airport, Lima Tango Foxtrot Bravo, which rests, of course, in the shadows of this lost wonder. So, now that we got all that information out of the way that I didn't read off a teleprompter, at all. I don't know what you're saying. I mean, look, it's there's nothing there. Look, they've deleted the evidence. Tonight we're flying in the Miltech Simulations CH47D. Now, we know this thing as the Chinook, but for obvious reasons, it's not called the Chinook. Otherwise, the lads at Boeing would want some sort of royalties, you see. But that's not going to stop us having the bit of crack, as we fly in a beautiful aircraft. The Chinook, what a machine this thing is. And there's one of these coming into Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It's coming in from Blackbird Simulations, another Chinook. So it'd be nice to have a now. Yeah, she's not going to like this one at all. It's going to be a nice comparison. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, you're very welcome to Monday. How was your day? My day started off with... Oh, Jesus. We had to go out for the shopping. We had to break up a whole load of cardboard boxes. We had to tidy up the sitting room for things. And I did a bit of VRage earlier on. And I released my first VR video. And feedback is needed on that one, lads. Because, for some people they can watch it. Other people they can't watch it. And I get it. It's the whole shaking and moving around. It'd be like me grabbing a hold of that camera there now and going nuts. Which I could do. But the last time I tried to move it, it fell. So I don't want to touch it. Unless, well, I can do this, look. Jeez, right. But that's about it now, you know what I mean? Apart from that, lads, we are T-minus, wait till you hear this, T-minus 21 days and 19 hours away from Flight Sim 2024. And I was chatting to a few third-party developers. There's a bit of I won't say well, there is confusion, but just to kind of explain things, right? Where we're at when it comes to what people think are conversions versus upgrades from their 2020 aircraft to work inside a 2024, well, there's a couple of kind of grey area, right? And we're going to be chatting to Raoul about this from FS Reborn on Wednesday. We're going to bring him on because I know that the Marketplace are on the dev stream this week. And the understanding that I have is that if you have a native 2020 aircraft right now, from the Marketplace, that should work just fine. When they say just fine, or the vast majority should work just fine, I'm kind of scratching my head because when you look at the sheer number of the vast majority, it tends to be that from M Scenery, right? So they're all going to work fine. Of course they will, because they just use the core SDK features that are so well built. But when we look at some of the other third-party developers, pretty much all the aircraft we fly, right? Let's be fair about it. Well, they use some custom coding. And it would appear this level of custom coding hasn't been kind of picked up on the Asobo radar because, hey, look, if you build it to this, we'll port it over. If you don't build it to that, well, you port it over. So that's why there's a bit of a head scratcher going on. They're known as converted aircraft. They're Flight Sim 2020 airplanes or helicopters that will work in Flight Sim 2024, but here's the catch. They will only work as 2020 styled aircraft, meaning they won't have the new features, they won't have access to the new, systems or any of that. They should function just as they do now over there. And for the most part, developers probably won't charge you for that kind of conversion because in a lot of cases, it could be an hour's work, maybe 2 hours work, in a lot of cases, right? However, when it comes to upgraded aircraft, not updated, but upgraded, that's where let's say, for example, this thing, the CH47D. Well, if you wanted this aircraft to perform inside of Flight Sim 2024 as a 2024 native aircraft, it needs a full upgrade. That will take considerable time from a developer to change things and rebuild the assets and all this sort of job, and you can be sure they will charge you for that. Also, the timeline in which they're going to be able to do that is going to vary from developer to developer. So there is a difference between the conversion and also the upgrade. So we'll be chatting to Raoul about it and the challenges perhaps that he has seen. So let's see what happens on Wednesday. Should be fun. And we're checking out a MiG as well. It'll be brilliant. But anyway, back into tonight. This aircraft, Miltech Simulations burst onto the scene. They had their, they did vessels first, right? Ships and all this sort of jazz. And then out of nowhere, they came out with the Osprey, which is an incredible, futuristic, incredibly dangerous aircraft. But it's cool looking, right? And the Osprey was a great success for them. And then the C4 or the CH47D kind of released relatively fast on its heels. And it is excellent. We also know that they're working on, a couple of different projects, but they're now a first-party partner, if you like, with Flight Sim 2024, and we're going to see their C-17, which is terribly exciting. So this chopper tonight, it's quite good. I like this thing. It's heavy, doesn't move as fast, but it sounds great, and the size of this thing, they're a great aircraft. I remember seeing these things flying into Baldonnel years ago. It was when your man came over. I am not here. When Bill Clinton came over. Bill Clinton. Great bunch of lads was Bill. Bill came in anyway in 98, was it? 96? I can't remember anyway, but Bill Clinton flew over. I am not here. He came over anyway, and I'll never forget it. I was in the living room in our house in Baldonnel, in Casement Aerodrome. And it was like a scene. Do you ever see Black Hawk Down? Well, at the start of Black Hawk Down, your man's glass of water is shaking on the table and all you hear is the bum, 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 bum. The rotor slapping through the air. That's what we're like, Jesus, what's this? Bum, 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 bum. A whole fleet of, or squadron of Chinooks flew into Casement, and that was like the advance party. That was all the American troops, the security detail. And it was class because I remember then onto the bicycle, meow, little BMX tracker, up to the ramp or as close to the ramp as I can get. And at that stage, lads, I didn't know what big fellas were. The Irish aren't terribly big, we make up for it in our brains. But I remember cycling up to the ramp and these huge men armed to the freaking teeth, and they were the security detail. And meanwhile, the Irish lads are going, Jesus then, right, and that was my first look at a Chinook. And then every air show, whatever, they'd fly one over. And then when I was over in England, I got to see them from the Royal Air Force as well. They are an incredible aircraft, absolutely incredible. And the technology dates back years. There was the earlier variants of this kind of twin rotary wing concept. And we'll learn up a little bit about it here now in a while. So that's the plan for tonight. Ancient mystery and history coupled with some aviation. That's how we roll. Do you know what I mean? Right, now, who's here in the chat, look? And we're going to get ourselves started. Do you know? You may have heard, what's going on with the bot? That's pretty much why the word beginning with S and T was banned. I've no idea what's happening. I need to go in and sort out all the bots. The bots are gone nuts. They've taken over, man. But let's see what happens. What was I going to say there? Yes, it's VR stuff. Having a ball with that. Loads of fun. And I was going to say something else and now I forgot. But it's all right. It'll come back to me now in a while. It'll be totally fine. Right, now into the chat. Welcome in, by the way, everyone. Hope you're having a great Monday. For those of you working, you poor old devils, God love you. For those of you enjoying the bank holiday weekend, Ara sure isn't it grand? Do you know? And, well, let's see what happens. Right, over here, look. Who's here? CP65 is in the chat. Oh, that's what I was saying. Me microphone, you may have heard a stoppage of music during the intro. The Twitch intro. I've Dolby Atmos on my streaming PC, and then I put Dolby Atmos on my gaming PC, and between the two of them,
baby.
Jesus,
yeah.
And between the two of them, they're kind of having a scrap, right? So every now and again, my audio stops, and I've noticed when I get up, when I stand up, you'll hear the. It's not important. They're technical issues, you know. Trust me to break things. But yeah, Roy just did something absolutely mad.
Hey, good morning.
Bloody hell. Right, come here. We'll jump into the chat here and keep her lit. Fierce Wolf, good to see you. Leaping Sumo, welcome aboard. Spitfire, RF 100 is in the chat. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, is here. Good to see you, Dougal. Vacuum rambles aboard along with Ozymandias, welcome in. Super Ty is here. Willow, how much? Good evening. Retriever Neil, he says, happy Monday to one day closer to the weekend. That's the spirit. Eamon 1973 is in the house. Sean Dale, good evening. Viper Strike is here. Currently doing a cargo op from Indianapolis to Austin. Man yourself. Tarnish Mossman, good evening. Sun Jammer is here. He says, good evening all. Once again, we marvel at the 7 ancient wonders of the world as we fly with the 8th wonder of the modern world. Because we wonder if he's a menace to himself and everything else in the air. Yes, birds too. Sun Jammer, good to see you. Airwolf is in the house. Echo Charlie, good evening. 98 Vulcan, he says, hello all from Gosford, Australia. G'day, g'day. Do you know the way you can look at these mad things on YouTube, right? Do you know, you can have like the Colin Meaney, Jesus rant. Well, there's one which I think is brilliant. It has the Alf Stewart Flamin' Gala rant. Or other things, Flamin', right? Flamin'. Alf Stewart from Home and Away. Don't tell me you don't know what Home and Away is, but back in the day when is Alf still in Home and Away? Yeah, Flyman Gala. Brilliant, right? The man's a legend. But yeah, you can kind of watch 20 minutes of uninterrupted Alf Stewart going Flyman and Gala. Brilliant. But anyway, my music stopped. Who else is here? Look, Alson, good to see you. Mr. Scoo, welcome aboard. Dr. Diggler is in the house. APU Inspector, good evening. Chalks is here. Black Ice Gabe, we have a Black Ice Gabe. He says, well, I'm back, and I've only gone and forgotten how to fly this thingamabob. Expect a lot of calling for medics tonight. Medic! It's good to see you, Gabe. Back in the control seat. Lead Ballooner, he says, missed yesterday's stream, so back to a watch streak of 1. Lead Ballooner, you poor unfortunate, when I saw it, you were on like 74, I was like, Jesus, and now he's at 1 again. Oh no! We know where you're at, Lead Ballooner, don't you worry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the man, myth and legend himself has graced us with his presence. Jefferson 2001 is here, and he says, hey there, Fireflies, happy Monday. Good to see you, Jefferson. You're looking well. You're looking terribly well. All the scenery that we're using for the Ancient World Wonders, Jefferson made them himself. Some say he only wore a poncho and flip-flops, but he made them himself for us. So thank you very, very much indeed, Jefferson. Hope you're well, mate. Sean Dale, you're very welcome in, man. Assidious, Flyer 10, Robert J56. Welcome in, lads. You're looking well. Tima is here. Commander Balosh, good to see you. Liptorius, happy Monday. Let me see now. Charlie B is here. Good evening from Sweden. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're well, man. Soaring AJ. AJH, man. You're looking well, Soaring AJ. Captain Gaiman is here. Hey-oh. Welcome aboard. Are you working? Are you working or dossing today, Captain Gaiman? That is the question. You see, try to enter the coordinates into Navigraph to no avail. Gabe, there's a flight plan on our Discord. Grab the flight plan and pop it into Navigraph. It'll do the trick. Sean Dale subscribing for 26 months. Jesus, thank you very, very much indeed. He says, you've really made me laugh for so long, Murph. Thank you. Thank you. I'm me, you know. Sometimes now I wish, I don't do half the stupid stuff I do. Like you learn, you're supposed to learn from it. It's fine. It's totally fine. Daddy Plump is here. Can't wait to bin me helicopter instead of a fixed wing. All right, that's the spirit. Stick Figure is here. Gaseous Maximus, good to see you. Old Veteran 965. Very happy Monday to you, Scott. Hope you're well. Dougal says, I've completely forgotten how to fly the Chinook. Never mind, start it. Be grand. We'll do it together. Yeah, press this button. No, not that button. It'd be grand. Do you know? Sterling58, good to see you, man. Is Murph having problems with buttons all the time? Strap21, hola. Cyrus T, the man of teal, is in the chat. Very welcome aboard, Cyrus. Cyrus, are you on days or nights this week? Are you trucking tomorrow? Patrick47 is here. Good man, Patrick. You're very welcome in. Sticky Rice, welcome aboard, man. How are things down under? Eamon says, maybe Mrs. Two-Tone hit him with the frying pan. Oh, be the Jesus. Right, now, quick. Paparazzi's in the house. Hope all is well in the realm. You too, mate, you too. Old veteran's computer is driving him nuts. What's it doing now? Scott only got it fixed. He's still trying to get out the VR headset. Jesus, then, it was like, if you didn't know me, you know, and you knocked on me door earlier on today, more so yesterday, right? I would have answered the door as if I just came back from the slopes, because in the VR headset, you'd be kind of stuck to your head, you see. And when you come out of VR, back into the real world, you know, you're left with like panda eyes. Do you know? Do you ever see The Lawnmower Man? Was that Rick Mail, by the way? Was it Rick Mail in the Lawnmower Lamb? Lawnmower Lamb in the Lawnmower Man? Was that Rick Mail? Or am I absolutely talking out of me? Flying Tonight is here. Good to see you. Come away, the lads and lassies. Happy Monday. And to you, man, and to you. Right, over here, look. El Pilito, welcome aboard. It was just a bank holiday. The October bank holiday. Yes. Jeff Fahey was the Lawnmower Man. Who was I thinking? Oh, wait. I was thinking Drop Dead Fred. Totally different movie. Yeah, Drop Dead Fred. Never mind, lads. Don't listen to me. Right. Roy says, hello, Murph and chat. How are you all? Sorry to hear that, Roy. Jesus. I need some Irish humour and distraction. Dude, we're thinking of you, mate. Never easy, like that part of time in your life when things start happening. But if we can make you giggle or make you smile, it'll happen. I'll break something. You know, I've already deafened myself twice with the... What? I've already deafened myself twice with trying to turn on Dolby Atmos. Do you know what I mean? And my eyes are jaded. My eyes are actually proper tired. I went for a nap earlier on. I'm not going to lie, lads. I was like, will I just stay here? And then I got up. Mainly because Mrs. Two-Tone was... Well, she was beating me. But that's not important right now. Well, she wasn't beating me, but you know what I mean? Do you know? And, well, we're here now. But my eyes are jaded, you know. It's like, what? I can't, like, now, I do have a lot of lights looking at me. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my lights before. There's many lights. For instance, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, and they're just the ones that look at me face. There's another one up there, but you can't see it. It's up very high, you know. And, well, that's what gives me this complexion, you see. So when the lights are off, I look terribly invisible. Right, that's what happens there. But anyway, some say he's... Wait. Best not said. We'll just call him the Murph. Brilliant. Right, now, quick. Sterling says, Artemis was cool, great archer, good dancer. Sterling knew her well. Vince C is here, good to see you. I was watching your video with VR and the Duke. The Duke is awesome, isn't it? Love the Duke. Right, now, Gibbo has ears covered. Oh, God, yeah. Head first into a sleeping bag. Tell me when it's over. Cy120, good to see you. Doc Blues is here. Hope all is well. Right, now, where's this button over here? Look, let me see now. A month, Jesus, Strap. 30 streams in a row, man. Thank you very much. Be the Jesus, Colonel Fork is here. I told my work to stuff it for the day between an early MRI and an arm in pain. Work can continue tomorrow. Colonel Fork, you're onto something there, mate. Hope you're well, my dude. And, well, you're very welcome in. Do you get to go flying with us? VR needs to be easy to display in 2D. That's a big stumbling block now, I think. It's an absolute disaster trying to record it. I managed to get it in the end, but like it took me 5 hours. Now, would it have taken an intelligent person less time? Probably. But it took me 5 hours setting the whole thing up. And even at that, it still needs a little bit of a tweak, do you know? But yeah, awesome stuff. Did you ever find out any info about removing the tech alpha files before installing the new sim? Dougal, they should no longer be present because any files left over, they're more to do with kind of, they're old configuration files. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be too worried about it. Unless, of course, you just, you know, nuke that hard drive. I wouldn't worry about it unless they're taking up space. But like, again, they're not doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Or we hope. B. Carlo, good to see you. Chuck says, I paid the premium deluxe price for one feature. Block a developer from the marketplace. Oh, Jesus. The lawyer's contract should Oh, no, wait. The lawyer's contract, it should all be grand. They should be blamed after you lose $1 million. That works. Energizer is here. He says you should see the amount of work Raoul has put into the reporting of bugs on the dev support forums. Yeah, he's been flat out. I was chatting to him. Absolute legend is Raoul. I guess as long as I can still fly airline missions, I'm still a little hesitant about ditching 2020 because I'm familiar with how it works and how it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be a huge thing. In a Box Man is here. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Filthy, good to see you as well. Keane Lafferty says, I joined and heard MiG. What's happening? Can you spot the Russian in me? We're checking out a MiG-25 on Wednesday, Keane. We're going to help, or we're going to need your help for translations and, you know what I mean? How to speak in the Russian language, or with accent. Brilliant, right? Adversary. Surely you mean advisory. Adversary. It'd be brilliant. Now, let me see. They can have the CH53. Yes. Murph, did the Irish invent Bill Clinton? Well, wait. Did Bill have any Irish heritage? I mean, practically everyone in America is Irish. I mean, let's be truth about things. You know what I mean? Bill Clinton, gas. I was trying to remember who did his voice brilliantly. I am not here. Some of them did his voice brilliant. Lovely man, I met him. I shook his hand. He was a big man. How are you, Bill? Chase. You here for the vision? But yes, right. It's faster than the Apache. They can't keep up in high altitudes or in hot altitudes. Is it? Jesus. Nighthawk trained in the Chinook while in the Canadian Army. Oh, nice, man. Nice. Greg Orr is here. Couldn't they fit more smaller guys in the Chinook? Yeah, they could have. They could have put all the Irish in there. That's pretty much why the world... super tight. We got that. Dougal says, RAF Squadron... really put these babies to good use. Ooh, nice. Test Pilot is here for 34 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Test Pilot. Hope you're well. Elf is here. I'm interested in learning about VR and Microsoft Flight Sim, but it doesn't translate well to YouTube videos. Yeah, it can be awkward because in YouTube, of course, you're only looking at one eye of the VR headset, right? I mean, that's what the video is. That's only looking at one of my viewpoints. So what's the word I'm looking for? Not the depth of field. What do they call it? Your depth of view. Field of view. Your field of view is always going to be a little bit less than what it actually is, because obviously in VR you have two eyes. But yeah, it's still a lot of fun. Then out of nowhere, PH Roy has gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Roy, thank you very, very much indeed. And lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub with thanks to PH Roy, do be sure to say thank you. The absolute ledge. Sean Dale says, great to hear. Indeed it is. Evening Murph and Fireflies says, Toto, $24.95. Good to see you, Toto. Squawk Talk is here. Sergeant Beast, good evening. Right, we're over here now. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, you're looking well. We're getting there, lads. It's very busy. I haven't watched Home and Away in years, says Patrick. It'd be grand. The Ballooner has set a record we can only marvel at. Indeed, and he has. Bald Eagle is in the house. Good to see you, man. Happy Monday. Led Ballooner says, getting the sounds of the apocalypse now through my speakers. Apocalypse Now. Oh, what a movie. Love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory. Kep Kira, good to see you. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're keeping well. Tekiba Thomas here. Welcome aboard. Zybok subscribing for, Jesus, 27 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Insane support. Ehrman is here. Forgot how to join the flight. ! How to multiplayer. All one word. Yeah, Jeff Fahey was in the Lawnmower Man. Thank you, Dr. Diggler. Right, now we're over here, look. Martel, good evening. Ascari Wolf is here. Gibbo would have done it in 20 minutes. Yeah, what took me 5, Gibbo probably would have done it in 20 minutes. Yes, I don't argue with you there. You will find no contest here, old veteran. DJ Seamus says, hey up Murph, hope you had a great bank holiday and all the Fireflies are all good on the Monday. And you, man, you're looking well. Right, we're over here now. It took 5 hours, 4 of which I spent trying to remember who I was because the after effects related to using VR. That could have worked. His nose looked it. Wait, what? Muse Fan is here, burst in the door with his baby finger. Oh, the pain, he said. How he is his mad jokes is. You're very welcome aboard, Muse. Hope you're well. It's a common fact that every American is Irish. Yeah, that's what I believe. Pogs1 is here. He says, evening all. Well, I'm buzzing. Just bought triple monitors and a stand and a track racer rig with accessories and a nice seat. The sim rig build won't be far away. Ooh, that sounds fantastic, man. You're going to have we'll never get you out of it. He'll never leave. We got 52 of our guys in a Chinook fully kitted out. 52! A company Jesus. Isn't that how it works? A squad, or in our case, a section. 3 sections in a platoon, 3 platoons in a company, 3 companies in a battalion, 3 battalions in a brigade, 3 brigades in a... And off we go. Do you know what I mean? That's mad, a company. Right, now, field of view, that's the one. Good man yourself. My third CTD trying to spawn into the airport. Energizer, start with multiplayer mode turned off and then start. It'll work. Colonel Fork taught me that trick. Fly to the Valkyrie. Ooh, nice. Right, now we're catching up. We're all still here, we are. I hope I won't be able to open the doors of all the Chinook. Wait, I hope I won't be able to open the doors of all Chinooks in 2024. Well, in 2024, you can open the doors, which is pretty handy, right? But that's only on 2024 aircraft. Do you know what I mean? Right, over to YouTube. Welcome in, lads. Byron is here. George, welcome in. Uniform Goose. Good to see you, Goose. Hope all is well. Hans Boone is here. Perseverance, you're very welcome in. Nightmare 99. Hey, Michael. Hope you're well. White Canyes is here. Bunk Foss. Kato was in the house. Johnny Shoe, welcome in. Cammy Niner. Head movement was steady. I need to kind of tweak it a bit more. And there is a way to do that seemingly, so we'll see what happens. David Cleary says, grand day for me. I met up with an old workmate and probably overstayed my welcome in the Eli Tesco car park. Oh, Jesus. Brilliant. Now, let me see. Ronnie Dillard, good to see you. Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Hello from Tipperary. Hope all is well. Now, how does one pronounce this? Is it Abawe? Abawe? You're very welcome in, man. Good to see you. Angels15 is here. Medic Aviation. Happy Monday. Mr. Anderson. Welcome aboard. HML Sim is here. DeRuiter jumps on in along with Andrew Cully. Jetstream Simulations are in the house. Phil the Fridge. Welcome in. Something on the way. Alan Leslie, good evening. Mrs. TPHI17 is in the house. Lone Gamer is here. Dazza T Arab. And hello to all the Dazza T Arabs. You're all very welcome in. Frankenstein, happy Monday. Nelly is in the house. Ryan Walker. And then Siddle. Welcome in. You're all looking marvellous, I have to say. Right, we're going to now, when we get to it. Yeah, Murph, you're exactly 36 minutes talking absolute. Well, this is what we do. Do you know what I mean? If you want to ramble into a stream and immediately go flying, we don't really cater to that. Do you know? We spend roughly a very small, portion of time, a minuscule amount of time with me talking, and then we venture over to the flyage. Oh, hang on. 10 to 1 position. Brilliant! Right, we'll press that button. Right, here we go now. Now, we're over here. Look, right, grand. Welcome to this. Look at the cut of this thing. Having the crack with everyone is very important. It is exactly what we do, and it's always what we'll do, right? Because you guys take the trouble out of your day to tune in, which is very, very much appreciated, by the way. And I want to say hello to you, because that's what this is all about. This new form of media, this type of Obi-hand, this type of, interaction. That's what it's all about. You can imagine sitting there now watching the 9 o'clock news, or this is ITN News at 10. Wait, ITV or ITN? I can't remember. Trevor McDonald. He wouldn't be sitting there going, Jesus, how are you going? You're looking well. You just couldn't have that, right? 20% intro, 25% Skoda, 35% flying and Crocs. Yes, Frankenstein, that's it. Squeaky is still there. It's brilliant, isn't it? Right. It's the best part of the stream, and Murphy shouts out everyone except for me. Little Trader, why? Am I reading your name wrong? I'm not Little Trader. I read you out earlier, and if I didn't, do send a letter to P.O. Box. Murphy's a feckin' Aegis, and it'll get to me. The wallpaper for tonight looks like a screen from Stargate. Stargate? Well, hang on. Let's have a look at this. Hello, Navigraph. As you could have imagined, I am a massive advocate of Navigraph. I love what they do. And this is their Charts 8 application. Or just, well, we know it. Charts, right? Now, there are those wondering, is Navigraph going to be a requirement in flights in 2024? And I think for some people, maybe not. However, for the vast majority of us, it absolutely will. Because there's other features on the way from Navigraph that, we're going to absolutely need and want and love. You know what I mean? So, I love Navigraph. I think it's excellent. So, what we're going to do, we're going to start off here in Turkey. And we're going to ramble from Antalya up over the mountains. And we're rambling over to this place here, the Denizli Airport. And we were here before. We were in here, I think, was it not the first one? Was it our first flight? I think it was. Because we'll remember seeing all this kind of a salt mine area here. It's mad looking. It's like Salt Lake City, only in Turkey, right? And but from there, friends, it's straight across 111 nautical miles. And this is where the Temple of Artemis is. It's right beside the airport. Look at that. That's where we're landing. But here is the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus. So that's where we're going, right? Dennis Lee, didn't he play for Finn Harps? Good to see you, Epic Fool. Welcome aboard. So that's our flight plan. And cruising speed of this aircraft, it's going to be about 150 knots. Now, they can go a little bit faster, but 150 is kind of the targeted speed for this aircraft. And of course, the Chinook, or the Boeing CH47, a number of different variants, there's not an awful lot of them built. I mean, they're not into the tens of thousands. There was about 1,200 of these built as of, 2012. So would there be 2,000 maybe, right? Now, what's pretty cool about these things are they've been building these since the late 60s. Right, 1967, I think, is when they, or 1962 is when they started building these. It first flew in 1961, and it derived from the Vertol Model 107, right? And the variants would be the Boeing Chinook for the UK, developed into the Boeing Vertol, the BV347. It's a tandem rotor helicopter originally developed by the American rotorcraft company Vertol, now manufactured by Boeing Defense, Space and Security. It's a heavy lift helicopter that is among the heaviest lifting Western helicopters. It's named Chinook from the Native American Chinook people of Oregon and Washington state. It was originally designed by Vertol, which had begun work in 1957 on a new tandem rotor helicopter, designated as the Vertol Model 107 or V107. And around the same time, the United States Department of the Army announced its intention to replace the piston-powered Sikorsky CH47 Mojave with a new gas turbine-powered helicopter. So that's kind of the history of this machine, right? Now, we'll learn a little bit more about it as we get going, but well, as we can see from it, this is available from Miltech Simulations. You can buy this right now. Is it in the marketplace? I'm not quite sure. And I have to say, from Miltech Simulations, when they I was chatting to them, and they were like, yeah, Murph, do an owl first look or do a trailer or something. And I did. And we saw a lot of feedback, and I was like, Jesus. And the feedback, the developers actually listened. Rather than releasing the aircraft, they said, well, here's a trailer, this is what we're working on. And I did a bit of flying around with it, and they got a lot of feedback. Much to say, the original ones that Miltech built, these doors here would open. But then they were getting feedback. From not only people who have worked or have flown these aircraft, but also the people who they've been in around them quite a lot. They were like, no, that's wrong. Can you change this? Can you change that? And they did. They actually listened to the feedback. There were some things they were not able to change. And the reason being is they said they can't actually make this thing as a one-to-one replica for obvious reasons, permissions and all this sort of jazz. But they said, look, we'll make it as close to it as we can. And this is the end result. And I have to say, it's a phenomenal chopper. And the doors open here. It's fully modelled inside and out, right? Isn't it class? And we can load cargo in this thing as well. We can put paratroopers in. We can do all the jazz. And look at the friggin' detail, lads. Highly detailed aircraft, right? So this is the machine we're going to be flying today. And look at it. They've done great work here. The textures are phenomenal. We're using a Royal Air Force livery for this hop for today. It comes with a ton others. It has the American, there's Korean in there, Australian are in there, Italian, I think. There's a whole lot of them, right? It's in the marketplace for $35.99. I think it's a great chopper. Now, the rotor droop, as you call it, see the way they're kind of hanging down? I think that's, any reference photos I've seen, I didn't see them that low. I could be wrong, right? Anyone who's flown in these, I didn't notice them that low. I mean, that would positively hit your head. And I remember when these things were on the ground, they were high up, right? So I don't know, I could be wrong, right? They do go that low? No, they do not droop that low. Yeah, my understanding is with Dougal. Colonel Fork says, can't confirm they get low. I wonder, is there different variants though? Because I imagine with the different variants, they've changed what some of the top rotors could do, also the size. But again, like, I mean, you look at the detail, right? Like, there's your wing shape that you see on a standard fixed-wing airplane, right? The airfoil shape. That's what your rotors have, because that's a spin. That's what they create, right? Larry is in the house. Good to see you, man. Now, so that's the machine for tonight. So we'll go ahead and reset that view, and we'll jump inside into the cockpit. Mr. Dan, good to see you. Yeah, the composite changed over the years. I agree.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, so all sorts of buttons we can play with here, lads. So a bit of cockpit familiarization before we get going. This is where the pilot sits, right-hand side. So a couple of things. We have a tablet here, which we can appear or reappear by hitting the glass sucker. And we have a ton of options in here. We have anything from a map, from the load of what's in the aircraft. So we can say internal. But we can also do an external load because the hoist and sling system works on this aircraft. It's actually very, very good. It's cool, right? But we can throw in pallets, troops. We can be set up for medevac. We can put a boat in there or even a Humvee. So we can do all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. We can go into our fuel and make sure all our tanks, look at the amount of tanks. 6 tanks. Fantastic. We have our own checklist. And we can check these off as we go through them. It has a mission mode. It'll load in its own mission and it'll put scenery and all the sort of jazz in place, including firefighting, which is awesome. The door controls, so we're going to get these closed. So we'll start closing up the doors. You'll hear the sounds. We're going to retract, close. Right. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's pretty cool. So everything's going to be closed up there. That's what we want. Close, 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 and close. Configuration. This is where we have a couple of options. So we can show the portable GPS on the console down here behind my head. Or you can put it up on the dashboard. Or if you have the GTN 750 from PMS, you can drop that in right there as well. Super handy. We also have the random hook attachment time. As in it's random, which is realistic. How long does it take the guys on the ground to get the thing up and running? Cockpit vibration, I like that. Downwash effect, disabled. No, I want it enabled. And then we have all our sounds. Documents, you can do a QR scan, read up all about the manual, and then we have some information about this. So, they're either loosely based on real events or entirely fictional. That's how it works, right? But you do have a moving map here, which is kind of nice. So I like that. So we'll put away the tablet at the moment, and we're going to start off here. So this is our standard instruments. Most of our flight will be kept here, and these are the ones I want you to keep an eye on. You have your airspeed indicator, artificial horizon, your altimeter. That's known as your baro altimeter. That's altitude based on barometric pressure. This fella here is your radar altitude, the distance between you and the ground, regardless of what the temperature or pressure is. That's how many feet between the bottom of your aircraft and the ground. You need to keep an eye on this one, all right? We have our engine torque controls, rotor RPM, we have our HSI, and we have vertical speed. They're the main ones we want to be looking at. Over here, all our engine controls, oil temperature, pressure, fuel, all the jazz lives there. Copilot has the same arrangement. And then down here we have a foray of navigation and also just camera stuff there. What else do we have there? Mainly navigation. Alright. To the overhead, the very, very top, our EAPS. That's for our startup and when we're flying. We have lights here, left-hand side. We have our overhead lights. The only thing about this, I would ask if Miltech could increase the rotation speed of these things. It's a bit of coding, but on some aircraft you have it. Do you know what aircraft, when you use your roller wheel on something like, I don't know, something like your altitude. Do you know when you start moving the roller wheel and the speed starts increasing and increasing and increasing? Right, it's a code that they can put in. I wish they had that. Because this is just the same speed and your fingers get absolutely jaded. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, more lights, Copilot instrument lights, overhead console lights. We'll turn all these on. I'm just getting the roller switches on. Nothing's happening, of course. I have the battery turned off. But I just want all these in place for, you know, you kind of set it and you forget it. The nighttime lighting in this helicopter is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, okay, so let's have a look here. Battery. Bring on the battery. There's our lights after popping on. I'm going to start hearing some sounds here now. We're going to put on our collision lights. And we're going to open these guys. Overhead lights, instrument lights turn on. Overhead lights on, but we'll put it into nav mode. Or nighttime navigation mode. All our pumps can come on. And you can hear that battery doing its thing. That's the wiper. They work. Put it into park and then off. So as the battery powers up, you can hear some avionics starting to spin up here as well. And next tick, we're going to go for the APU. So we'll put the APU test switch on. And then turn it off. Think of that as your bleed switch. APU switch set to run. Wait for a few seconds and then we're going to flick start. And you will hear that engine power up. That's the auxiliary power unit. So APU coming on. Great sounds. Let that warm up. Okay, she's running. And we'll go ahead and get the bleed system on. It's a great sound, isn't it? That's just the APU, right? Now, come on down here. Let's have a look. So, our hydraulic transfers, go ahead and turn those on. And we're going to be focusing on the engine 1 first. So, generators, we'll just put them on into position. They'll fire up. We have a ground starter switch. So, this is all to do with your engine condition. So, we'll go ahead and engage the starter on number 1. Rotation. And now we monitor. Engine torque is coming up. RPM will do the same. We'll see total pressure and fuel pressure coming alive here as well. And we'll continue on. We'll get our autopilot unit just turned to the on position or both. And we'll keep an eye on all our annunciator panel stuff. As the engine warms up, go ahead and turn on some electrics. And do the same down here. Looking good. The sounds on this, it's amazing. Fuel flow is still climbing. Rotor RPM is coming up. Torque is held. Make sure our altimeter is set to normal. Time of day, by the way, lads. 8:35, 08:35. And I'm just using a weather preset of a few clouds. Alright. Now which direction is this? Balls. I'm gonna go this way. There we go. Into flight mode. Reset the gen. And engine 1 is up and running. Engine 2 coming on next. We're gonna wait for the torque. And the fuel. Engine 2 coming online. The sounds. FedEx on. Reset the gen. Starter off. APU off. Speed up and come on. We're looking good here. We're looking good there. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Quick check on our advisory panel. Yep, we're looking good. Let's have a listen outside, lads. You ready? Isn't it savage?
Jesus.
It's very good. Right, we're going to put on our front searchlights. I use them as my landing lights. Everything else here is looking good. Formation lights, go ahead and bring them on. Sounds amazing, yeah. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Where's the J's as a mode from? It's from the Snapper. Right, now, so the altimeter, right? You have your standard Barrow altimeter. This is the altitude based on barometric pressure. Then you have your radar altimeter. This is the distance between your helicopter and the ground regardless. That's just how much there is. This is important because it has a terrain following mode. So let's say, for example, you want to stay at exactly 200 feet regardless. Well, you can tell your autopilot unit, hey, lock in the radar altitude and keep me at 200 feet above the ground. And it'll follow the terrain. It follows the contour of the terrain. Pretty cool, right? So I think that's kind of us set up and running, lads. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and turn on some multiplayer and give this a few moments to power up. This aircraft is from Miltech Simulations. It's very, very good. So we'll jump outside and we'll just wait now for a few of our multiplayer aircraft to start appearing. I hope it works. It is success! There are people appearing. So we're going to get a couple of stutters and whatever else. That's just as aircraft are loading in. And I have a feeling we've a good few of them. Oh yes, we have great sounds in the area. Don't crash now, Sim, whatever you do. Imagine if it crashed though. There's going to be so many different choppers here tonight. Alright. Shall we go flying? Right, Toby I. We're going to need you for our initial off of the park and brake. With a collective coming in. There's a collective. There's a little bit of a roll. Hold her back. Watch the hover. There we go. Give it a bit of a turn here. Man, look at that shadow there. We're just hovering. Look at that. Okay. Make our way forward here. Maintain that hover. We're looking good. Easy. Easy. Alright, we'll follow the taxiway out. Nose down a little bit. We're just gonna head out towards the we're just gonna head out to the main runway there. Man alive, we got so many different aircraft with us today. This is awesome. Alright, watch the hover. It does take a lot of time to get kind of used to choppers in the sim, but it's so rewarding. It's so nice. Once you, like, and it takes ages. You will die, right? You will crash many times. There's Toto and a Huey. Want to go out here to our left. Easy now. This is Antalya Airport in Turkey. Beautiful. There's Epic Fool, look. Fierce Wolf, looking well, lads. Easy now. This is a beautiful part of the world. I would love to visit here. Alright, follow on the taxiway here. We're still hovering. Beautiful. And as I say, we're going to get about 150 knots out of this thing. It'll do that comfortably. Maximum speed, or do not exceed, probably up around 180. There's Energizer in the EC45, the 145. There's our runway. The choppers, lads, they're like, you'll never be bored on flight sim if you can figure out how to fly choppers. Alright guys, let's turn here. Oh, easy now, easy now. Watch the sideways movement, keep the hover, keep the hover. Alright. Let's buggy. Nose down, collector coming in, and hold the angle. Airspeed is moving. Try and keep on that centre line as best you can. Little bit of wind catching us now. There we go. 100 knots indicated. Keep her left, Murph. That's really difficult. There we go. 140. Going to be passing the airport here on the right side. 150. Jesus. Man, look at the vibration there on the glare shield. All right, 150 knots. There's the airport. Beautiful. Okay, we're passing 500 feet. Barrow altitude, 300 feet above the ground. Bring the nose up a little bit, and we'll start a climb. All right. Keep an eye on your torque. Make sure everything stays in the green. There's 1,500 feet. And we'll start a nice lazy turn here to the left as we continue to gain a little bit of altitude. Mr. Dan, correct and right. Everywhere but the centre line. Right? I was doing me best. It went terribly wrong. Right, lads, what we're going to do now, well, if you're flying along on Xbox, press 1. If you're on the PC, press 2. And if you're here for the sheer crack of it on a Monday night, sure, why wouldn't you be? You press number 3.
Jesus.
Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2000 Zulu time, right here. The sounds of this thing. Now, flying it with an external camera is ridiculous and difficult. So, yeah, ease off some of the torque there. We'll lean forward, get that speed back up as we circle around the airport. And don't forget, lads, if you want to fly helicopters, make life easy on yourself. Make sure you set up the rotor trim, right? So you have elevator trim or whatever else. You can do the same in a helicopter, but it's a different command. It's called rotor trim, right? Murph, you might have missed it earlier, but anyone into the Chinook should look up the history of Bravo November. Ooh. 39 on the PC, 1 on console, and 190 people here for the crack. Only 196 days for the Eurovision. Nice. Hey, Guy Brush is here. Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. So you're pushing the stick down a bit and also trimming it. So wait until you kind of achieve the speed you want and then start putting in some trim. Basically, you should be able to let go of the chopper and it should be able to do its own thing, right? It should. So what we're going to do here now, as we're maneuvering, go down here and have a look at our flight plan. And we can lock in heading, right? So let me see, heading mode, we're going to adjust this. There's our heading. Lock in the heading. Autopilot will now follow that heading. And I can look after the speed and altitude and all this jazz. So I'll figure out the pitch to give us maximum speed, and also see the way we have vertical speed. We're actually descending. That should help though when it comes to our airspeed. So if I increase the collective, right, not too much, but now pitch down, and we'll get some trim in there just to kind of take the pressure off. Down you get, down you get. Something like that. Here we go. And I'm just going to keep pitching the aircraft down until I kind of hit, you know, 0 vertical speed. That's what we're after for. Or that's what we're looking for, right? Pitch up again. Basically, you want to balance that vertical speed. You can help out with your collective. Lower your collective if it's you know, too sensitive. You can lower the collective. So we're slowly starting to pitch up here again. And we're focus point here, lads, is on our vertical speed. So we're going into a climb again. So nose down, pitch down. And then just try and get your trim there as best you can. Very small movements are needed in a helicopter. Easy now. A little bit more trim required. And we can lock this into altitude mode. It can act up a little bit, but for the most part we're good. Now see the difference? We're at 3,600 feet on our barrow altitude, but only 3,400 feet radar altitude. Watch your heading. So more to the left here with our heading. There we go. We're as close can be when it comes to our vertical speed now. And that's me relatively trimmed. That's me pretty much, right, we're grand now for a while. Let the chopper do its thing, right? We'll keep an eye on it, we'll monitor it. We're getting about 133 knots. If you want to adjust that speed, remember, keep the nose down, add in some collective. Just keep an eye on your torque. As you add more collective in, it'll want to kind of pitch up, yeah? You can use a hot switch, yeah, 100%. Mr. Dan, it might look a little bit easy, but yeah, Mrs. Teuton's doing the dishes. If it looks easy, it's only because the amount of time I've spent trying to figure out choppers. It's not easy, lads. It takes a lot of time to get used to them. Now let's just see if we can lock in the altitude on this. So let's see, we'll hold barrow altitude. So our vertical speed should cool off. And the collective, it'll start doing it itself. See the way the collective is now moving by itself? That's the autopilot trying to take control. And there's a bit of wind here blowing us off, so we're going to have to adjust our heading once again. Into the left a bit. We are heading for some mountains, so we're going to have to climb along the way. We're going to need probably 10,000 feet. Oh, look at the cut of that, though. You know what I mean? The frame rate when it comes to the rotor movements, sometimes it's spot on, sometimes it's not so good, right? Now, why are we going sideways? Is there wind here hitting us? Yeah, we got 4 knots. 4 knots are kind of pushing us off to one side, yeah? So we will crab a little bit. But that'll be alright. Speed is still holding around 140 now, and it's following our barrow altitude. Isn't it pretty? Like, what a machine, right? Wind is a fun one, but you can use a bit of rudder. So on a helicopter, they're called anti-torque pedals as opposed to rudder. We're used to them being your rudder pedals, but they're referred to as anti-torque.
Yeah. We're going the wrong way.
No, we're not. It's all grand. Well, we slightly are, but we're getting there now in a sec. Now, what else do we need to worry about here for the minute? We're okay. We're kind of moving sideways, but it's grand, right?
Who's in charge? You haven't a clue what you're doing.
Be grand. Mr. Two-Tone doesn't have a dishwasher. We do! We do! My heading always jumps about, but height always should either be barrow or radar altitude. Yeah, Sean, 100%. The hardest thing I can get used to in a real heli would be the fact that the pedals nor the stick is self-centering. Yeah. Fire J Link about the chopper. Come on, Epic.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
So Bravo November is the original identification code painted on a British Royal Air Force Boeing Chinook, the HC-6A military serial number. It was one of the original 30 aircraft ordered by the RAF in 1978 and have been in service ever since. It's been upgraded several times in its history, now being designated as the HC-6A airframe. It's seen action in every major operation involving the RAF in the helicopter's 39-year service. Since 1982, it served in the Falkland Islands, Lebanon, Germany, Northern Ireland, Iraq and Afghanistan. The aircraft has seen 4 of its pilots awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for actions whilst in command of Bravo November. First came to the attention to the general public for its survival of the Falklands War, and in April 1982, Bravo November was loaded along with 3 other Chinooks aboard the container ship MV Atlantic Conveyor bound for the Falkland Islands, on Operation Corporate. Atlantic Conveyor was hit by an Exocet missile, destroying the vessel along with its cargo, and Bravo November was on an airborne task at the time. It managed to land on HMS Hermes, gaining it the nickname the Survivor. It was the only serviceable heavy lift helicopter available to the British forces involved in the hostilities. The first of its 4 Distinguished Flying Crosses came for action in the Falklands. The aircraft is the subject of an exhibit at the Royal Air Force Museum at Cosford. Ooh. I will share this into the chat, lads. Some interesting reading there for sure. Yeah, the mountains here are shocking close, but we'll be grand, right? We'll be grand. The mountains here are beautiful, aren't they? Oh, this is stunning. Look at the cut of it. Look at it, lads. Right, so as we kind of traverse along the mountains, we'll take it out of autopilot now here in a while, right? But now, lads, what we're learning about, that's it for the aircraft for the moment, because when we want to talk about the Temple of Artemis, that's where we're actually headed to, right? So as we settle back in, let us journey in mind and spirit to ancient Ephesus, right? Beneath the Turkish sky once stood a temple of astonishing beauty, a wonder so profound it was said to have reached to the heavens themselves. This was the Temple of Artemis, a marvel born from ambition, tragedy, devotion, and artistry. Our story begins in Ephesus, a bustling city by the Aegean Sea, where the ancient Greeks raised the first Temple of Artemis. It was no ordinary temple. The worship of Artemis in Ephesus reached back to a time well before the city was settled by the Greeks. Early records suggest that the site, originally a temenos, a sacred ground, was hallowed by the local people, the Lydinians, and also the Leleges, who paid homage to an earth goddess, a bringer of fertility, abundance, and protection. Over time, that goddess became intertwined with the Greek Artemis, known to the Romans. Autopilot off. Sweet lamb of Jesus, we nearly ended up in a mess. Ooh, careful now. 2IC takeover. Right, let's fix that mess. We nearly planted ourselves into a mountain, but it's totally fine, right? Totally fine. Throw her back in there now, Murph. Jesus, lads. Right, I'll need to read and fly at the same time. It'll be grand. Nothing to worry about here, lads. We're going to be grand. Easy now. Easy, easy. There we go. Get that speed back up where you belong, Merv. Oh, look at the mountains here, look. So it was known to the Romans as the goddess Diana, right? But who was Artemis? Well, Artemis, her name echoes through the forests, across mountains, and into the deepest wilderness of the ancient world. She was more than a goddess. She was an icon of nature's raw, untamed power. Bit like myself. A symbol of purity, resilience, and the eternal balance between life and death. Artemis, known to the Romans as Diana, was born of a godly lineage. She was the daughter of Zeus, the king of gods, and Leto, a titaness of gentleness and modesty. However, the circumstances of her birth are complex. Zeus, ever the philanderer, fathered Artemis outside his marriage to Hera, and so the twins, Artemis and her brother Apollo, god of the sun and music, came into being under a cloud of tension and divine jealousy. Leto was forced to wander, finally finding refuge in the floating island of Delos, where she gave birth to her two children. From her very first breath, Artemis's life was marked by resilience and strength. Artemis was the goddess of the hunt, protector of the wilderness, and the guardian of young women and animals. With a quiver of arrows slung across her shoulder, she roamed forests and hills, a silent and agile huntress. Her entourage consisted of nymphs who followed her through the dense woods as she protected the creatures of the wild. She was both feared and adored. To anger her was to risk her wrath, but to honor her was to be blessed by her protection. Right? Yet Artemis was more than a huntress. She was also the goddess of the moon, casting her silvery light over the earth and embodying the gentler aspects of the night. She balanced her brother Apollo, the god of the sun, symbolizing the natural harmony of light and darkness. Artemis, in this way, represented the delicate balance of existence itself, birth and death, innocence and experience, predator and prey. Jesus, we're booting it now. One of Artemis's defining characteristics was her vow of chastity. She represented purity and was known for her fierce protection of her autonomy. Steel underpants. Stories are told of Actaeon, a mortal hunter who, by chance, stumbled upon Artemis while she bathed in a secluded pool. Angered by this intrusion, she transformed him into a stag, and he was torn apart by his own hunting dogs. Though tales like these, she demonstrated her relentless defense of her virtue and her boundaries. Jesus. Artemis also held a special role as a protector of women, particularly during childbirth. Though a virgin herself, she was called upon by women in labour, a paradox that highlights her connection to the cycles of life and death. She watched over young girls, from the earliest of years to their marriages, and her temples were sites of rituals marking these transitions. Are we going the right way? Follow me! All is well in the realm. We are going the right way. It's alright, lads. Follow me! All is well. Hand flying and reading. Right, Jesus. In Ephesus, however, Artemis took on a slightly different form. Known as Artemis Ephesia, she embodied the characteristics of fertility and abundance more strongly than our typical portrayal. She was often depicted with many breasts or rounded shapes covering her torso. Yes, we have a photo to show you. Relax now, right? Though some scholars now believe these to be symbols of eggs or offerings rather than literal breasts. Now, this Artemis was worshipped as a mother figure, a goddess of bountiful harvests, and also protection for the entire community. The Ephesians held her in such high regard that the Temple of Artemis became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This was no simple worship, it was a deeply integrated part of their identity. They believed she watched over their city, brought prosperity, and guided their lives. Right? So, as the Roman Empire expanded, so did the cult of Artemis, and she became widely worshipped under the Roman name Diana. In Egypt, she was associated with the goddess Isis, another powerful figure representing motherhood, protection, and the cycles of nature. This adaptation across cultures speaks to Artemis's universal appeal. Her symbolism of nature, protection, and independence resonated with people from all walks of life. Artemis was the wild spirit of the ancient world, untouched by civilization's influence, unbound by marriage or domesticity. She was strength, freedom, and the power of nature itself, eternally wandering through the trees and the hills, watching over those who revered her and punishing those who trespassed against her. In every story, in every corner of the ancient world, Artemis remained a symbol of independence, courage, and eternal life. So they built a big massive freaking temple. This first temple, that's right friends, there was 3 of them. 3 of these temples, right? The first one, constructed sometime in the early 8th century BC, was amongst the earliest Greek temples to be built in this sort of style. It was the first time they used marble, all marble, right? Which is kind of nuts, because the Greeks didn't typically do that. It was surrounded by columns on all sides, embracing a small central sanctuary. But nature would not leave this temple unscathed. A flood swept through Ephesus in the 7th century BC, tearing through the temple's early clay floors and burying it under a thick layer of silt. It was destroyed, yes, but not abandoned. And from the ruins, Ephesus set forth to create something grander than before. In the 6th century BC, the city's fortunes changed when Croesus, the famously wealthy king of Lydia, pledged his support for the rebuilding of Artemis's sacred temple. The king spared no expense, hiring in the Cretan architect Cheresphron and his son Metene to create a temple that would redefine magnificence. This second iteration of the Temple of Artemis was the work of unprecedented scale and beauty. Built entirely of marble, it stretched some 377 feet in length and 151 feet across. It had 127 columns. This thing was huge. Each column stood over 40 feet tall, and they were engraved with exquisite reliefs. It was by all accounts the first Greek temple made entirely of marble and the engineering feat of its time. You're talking roughly the size of a soccer pitch. That's how big this thing was. Wait to hear about this though. As with many great stories, this one was not without its villains. In 356 BC, a man by the name of Herostratus brought ruin to the temple, seeking eternal fame. This mad Egypt said, "Do you know, I want to be remembered. I think I should, burn the old Temple of Artemis, and history will always remember me as the man who burnt down the temple." And he did. He set fire to the temple, watching as the flames devoured the wooden roof beams, toppling columns, and the charring of marble. It was said that the goddess Artemis herself, she was too preoccupied with the birth of Alexander the Great to have saved her temple. Alexander was born in 356 BC, as best we know. For his crime, Herostratus was sentenced to death, and the people decreed his name should never be used and should be erased from history. But irony, as often is the way, the term, if you've ever heard of this, the herostratic fame. Do you ever hear of herostratic fame? That means fame gained through destructive or criminal acts has immortalized his name far beyond the walls of Ephesus. So it didn't really work, lads, did it? Didn't really work. But anyway, after the destruction wrought by Herostratus, the citizens of Ephesus once more took on the task of rebuilding. When Alexander the Great offered to fund the temple's reconstruction, the locals said, no, it would be improper for one god to build a temple to another god. This time, the temple's foundation was set on a bed of charcoal and wool, a technique designed to prevent earthquakes from toppling its towering structure. The third and final temple was larger than its predecessors. It covered some 450 feet in length, 225 feet across, a fitting tribute to Artemis, and one that the what's it called, the Antipater of Sidon would have named among the 7 wonders of the ancient world, declaring, "When I saw the house of Artemis that mounted to the clouds, those other marvels lost their brilliance." Jesus. The temple was built using marble quarried from a nearby mountain and meticulously shaped on site. Marble blocks weighing several tons were moved using sledges across wet sand, and they also used oxen with wheels. A method that the ancient engineers perfected, having to look on to the Egyptians. Craftsmen worked tirelessly carving reliefs into the columns and adding intricate details that conveyed the stories of gods and mortals. The ceiling was supported by massive wooden beams, specially chosen for the resistance to decay. The marble floors were polished to reflect sunlight, filling the temple with an otherworldly glow. The marvel of architecture stood on a carefully chosen marshy ground, chosen to counterbalance earthquakes. Layer upon layer of charcoal and fleece provided a flexible foundation. You're going the wrong way, Murphy. Absorbing vibrations that would have otherwise toppled the temple. So we'll learn a little bit more about this now in a while. It's in the fascinating stuff, right? Highlight that so you know where it is. Here we go. Right, now, don't crash into the ground, Murphy. That just wouldn't be cool. There we go. Nice to mention that I paid a visit to Ephesus. Sweet.
Hello there.
Hello there. Oxens have wheels? Well, no, they used oxen carrying trailers. Hey, Kanzui is here. Good to see you. The Romans should have built it. The Romans loved it. In actual fact, Augustus was all up in that jazz. Do you know? He friggin' loved it, lads. Oh, look at the cut of this. This is savage. Isn't this savage? There's just something about a chopper, the sound of rotor blades, and everything else that goes with it. You know what I mean? It's very hard to do a flyby. Isn't it only deadly? So, question coming in, Mr. Dan asking, did I use VR with the Chinook? I absolutely did. Yeah, so hang on a second, what we can do here actually. I bring up our tablet. Doors. Open. Open. Oh, be the Jesus. Yarra lads, there's nothing to be afraid of at all. Only everything. Hello there. Alright, look at the state of this. Okay, left is right, right is left. Alright, we got it. Hey, Fornax is here, good to see you. Man alive, what a view. Come on now, machine. There we go. Can you drop cargo in this? How are the men? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Jesus. There's the ground, Murphy. There's the ground. Easy now. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Right. Oh, God almighty. They've dead people in the thing. Jesus. There's a boat. Now that's better. Jesus. Hey, Bartman, good to see you. Sergeant Beast, you take care. Yeah, we nearly had an ouchie. Right, we'll calm it down now and just get back to our normal flying, right? Let me see here now. Get those doors closed. There we go. As I said, if we wanted it, we can actually pick up a load on the ground and tow it along. It's awesome. Awesome. Right, how are we going? We're going alright. $18 miles out to our first stop. We're nearly there. Do you also go into the rocks of Dilian, the carved out temples? I'm not sure. Hey, Rambog is here, good to see you. If Murph had crash damage and aircraft stress damage on, every flight would be attempted at least 3 times. Only 3 times? Only 3 times? Roy, where's that location? We'll follow along the ground here. What a machine, though. I'll show you the nighttime lighting, will I? Remember the time of day, 9:15. I mean, isn't that spectacular? And again, like, we can turn this stuff off, right? Isn't it class looking? It's very, very nice. And get rid of the floodlight as well. It's really, really nice at night time. The night lighting is insanely good. Right, so once we see where these kind of salt flats are, that's getting us very close to our first stop. Yeah? Sir Campsalot is here. Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. Man, this is so awesome. Getting to do this, getting to do heli flights. We haven't done chopper flying in some time. Jesus, there's Muse Van. Right, there's our speed back to where it should be. Man, the scenery in Turkey is beautiful, isn't it? P.S. Mirandai, hello there. It's stunning, lads, isn't it? Look at that. Angels 1-5 in the Osprey. Did I get an update? Mr. Dan says, so Murph, Bravo November, I saw this in 2023 when we went there. Didn't realise it was that heli. Kind of fascinated. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? It's awesome. She's a big machine, this now. So the first leg was 74, next one is 111. So this will be a quick landing. We're going to take on some fuel and then we'll keep her lit. Osprey got an update. They still didn't fix their props and multiplayer. Really? They all struggle with that though. Like even high performance groups, they struggle with that as well, don't they? 40 years in service, yeah, it's nuts. So it's not this little salt kind of flat in front of us, it's over the mountains. And you see our shadows on the ground there, it looks awesome. Yeah, the 145 and the 160 have the same issue. It's a pity, like. Look at that. It's located at the southwestern coast of Bodrum and Dalaman. Oh, nice. Definitely one for the list, Roy. Definitely. Okay, keep the speed up. Easy now. It'll all be fixed in 2024. It's grand. It will, yeah. I didn't see that as like new features, you know what I mean? Medic 24 Life is in the DC3. Beautiful. What we might do for the crack, we might get low here and follow on that mountain there on the right hand side. See where Muse Fan is? We might just tuck in there and then circle around. Yeah, 100%, Mr. Dan, 100%. Alright, speed is good. Just follow the road up here and then swing around to the left. Jeez, look at the scenery, isn't this gorgeous? Imagine seeing all these coming at you though. Enbrew, no, it's actually Blackbird who are making the Chinook in Flight Sim 2024. Formerly Milviz. So it's going to be hard to know which one is going to be better. Oh, look at this, lads. We kind of follow this around, and then there's the salt flats in front of us. So the airport is to the left of those. This is awesome looking. Look at that shadow there, look. Whoa, who be that? This speed! Why can't yes get in there like swimwear? Look at that. Oh, this is awesome terrain. See how much it opens out, look. There's the runway. There's Dougal. Why can't yes? You're going like inches off the ground. Easing out. 160 on our speed. B. Carlo in the TBM, whizzing by. Look at the mountains around us, lads. Got an Osprey off our left side with Angel 1-5. Muse is over the airport. Let's go over the El Salt and let's see, can we kick up some dust, yeah? Easy now. Posting a photo of the temple in the photo server. Thank you, PH Roy. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We want to kick up some dust, yeah? Easy now. Easy. Lead off some of that speed. Easy. Easy. Alright, easy does it, Murphy. Easy does it. You should be kicking up some dirt. Keep dropping her down. No. Nothing. Other players are. Hang on a second. Why is this all off? Heat blur off. It should be working, shouldn't it? That is odd. So it's working for the other guys, and it is class looking, right? Why it's not working for me, I don't know. That's strange. It does work. So you saw the screenshots we put out. Right, let's head over to the airport, get some fuel taken on, and we'll see what happens next. It's Murphy. We're not surprised that he broke it, right? Alright, we're gonna rumble over, get some fuel on board. You can see mine, but not yours. It says power source. It's weird, isn't it? Alright. Easy does it, Murphy. Alrighty, throw her in. That's one way to bleed off the speed. Oh yeah. Nice. Easy now. Easy. Man alive, so many helicopters here. This is awesome. This is deadly. I got ourselves located in here. Easy now. Easy. Easy. All right. All right, stop it there. What a machine though, right? Charlie B, you take care, my dude. Right, so quick check on our fuel situation. We started off at 90%. We didn't burn too much. Right, bring it back up to 90. That's what we want. Okay, so for our next spin, lads, this is going to take us from this airport all the way over to where the temple was once located. And, well, we're in for a treat because we're going to see the thing as it once stood. And then it's a very quick ramble on over to the airport. So I think we're doing good, right? There's a bit of a spin here. What we might do for the pure giggles, let's change the time of day. Let's make it evening time. Just to kind of make things interesting. So it's going to take us about an hour to get there. So why don't we put in about 1700 local? About 1700. That should make for kind of interesting flying. Sun to be in our eyes, but sure, listen, it'll be grand. Right, are we ready? Your man wrecked his EC135. Uh-oh. Airport code. Currently on the ground at Lima Tango Alpha Yankee. LTAY. Southeast Asian server. Come on in and join us, lads. Don't forget, lads, if you're on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind doing us a solid, do be sure to hit the little like button. It helps out the stream something fierce. Because YouTube will say, I see what you did here. And it'll start recommending it to other people. Brilliant. And yeah, awesome sauce. Right, so quick check. Make sure you fuel up, lads. Get a cup of tea or something into you. Oh, dude. Right, let's have a look here now. I got that as well, Sean Dale. Thank you very much indeed for your DM. Now, we want to... It's 111 nautical miles, so we're not terribly far, right? Any suggestions for HOTAS sensitivity? Jetkid? You need rudder pedals. Pedals are a must with this chopper, with any chopper, I think, you know. So if you can do that, you're laughing. We're going to be doing a chopper series at some stage, right? It got delayed, obviously, with 2024 on the way. We will do a chopper series on 2024, teaching you how to fly choppers from start to finish. Well, I say that. I'll teach you how to fly them as I fly them. And I know Epic Fool is kind of going to give us a dig out as well. That man is heli mad. And I think Sergio Costa might help us out as well, so... Right. Shall we get going? Pedals are overrated. Well, yeah, I mean, if you have... You can get an axis on the joystick that's a twist. And you'll figure it out that way, you know what I mean? Alright, so... Time to fly. Watch old mate here in front of us. Collective coming in. And we're just going to taxi out. Into a hover, though. Easy. Easy. Alright. Some great control. Look at that. Look at that 125 over there.
Jesus.
Easy. 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 Alright. Good. It's going to be a right turn and we'll boot it down the runway here. We've got the far side, less traffic there. I think part of the issue with the rotor animations is how an aircraft is classified in coding. As far as I'm aware, High Performance still classified the choppers as aeroplanes. Ah, Colonel Fork, right, okay. There, we're kicking up some dust. Where we shouldn't be kicking up dust, but we'll take it. Man, that's awesome looking. Hoorah. Yes! Easy now. Hold her there. Hold her. Now you're talking. Nice. And of course the FPS are on the floor. Right, easy now. Alright, let's boogie. Easy. Alright, so collector coming in. Nose down. Let's see how we do this time. There's our speed coming up. Come on, keep us on the runway. It's really hard to keep the thing straight and narrow. Coming up in 100 knots. There's 100 knots. We're absolutely booting it. As low to the ground as we can get it, look. Nice. Deadly. Alright, oopsie daisy. Alright, pretty much out this direction here. I kind of get the sensitivity on the rudder pedals dialed in to use them. Too sensitive. Pedals work with planes though. Yeah. This will be so much fun in 24. Oh, Dougal. It really, really will. Like, I cannot wait to fly that 225. Having a sneaky day off. MDA, good to see you, man. I hope you're keeping well. Happy Monday. Well, happy Tuesday to you. 2024 with that H225. I cannot wait for that, lads. It's going to be so friggin' awesome. And the world we get to explore with 24, like, for God's sake, it's going to be nuts. Mr. Dan, you take care, me dude. And as I say, lads, right, I mean, anyone who does helicopter flight streams, Flights with Joel does a ton of them. Ali does them every other week as well. So if you are interested in doing some chopper flying, check out Ali, check out Joel. And in 2024, we're going to be doing a helicopter series. You know, we've done the Warbirds, we've done the jets. We have to do the airliners too, which we will. But we're going to do helis. And looking forward to that. Byron, thank you very much indeed joining us here on Twitch. The absolute ledge. Cheers, man. Big Boss Robinson, you're very welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. So we'll try and keep this one fairly low to the ground as we're moving. Look at this, lads. Ah, isn't that gorgeous? Look, there's Dougal there as well. Awesome. Like, I think in 2024 this is going to be just phenomenal. Phenomenal. Hope the Lynx comes out soon. Oh yeah. Yeah, Super Ty, funny you should mention that. That's pretty much the way I was doing it. Pretty much.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
MDA, thank you very much indeed for the gifted sub, you absolute gentleman and a scholar. Cheers, man. Very kind of you. Booker T, welcome in. B. Carlos says, I think I'm just going to play the Proclaimers and walk around in Flights in 24, right? Switching to Twitch from YouTube, much less lag. Yeah, there's way less lag on Twitch, but YouTube will have your 4K. That's kind of the trade-off. Well, welcome in. Man, look at this scenery. Like, I know the Chinook in Flights in 2024, they're using that for aerial firefighting. That could be a blast altogether. Man, this is nice. Some choppers are better than others, right? I mean, the Chinook, it handles more like a plane, funny enough. It's a different kind of flying altogether, right? As Dougal, look, Jesus. He's booting it, booting it. Like, you know, there's a Chinook over in DCS. I think that's pretty good as well. But to do this in Flight Sim in the world, man, There is no comparison. There really isn't a comparison. And, you know, as we say, when 2024 is released, and like, we're so close, lads. We're like, you know what I mean? We're so close. Cannot wait. Byron, you take care, my dude. We're making good time. We've got plenty of mountains here for a while. There's huge mountains off to our right hand side. We're in spitting distance to it, right? Oh, Keith, I mean, that rotor sound with, you know what I mean? It's just class, like. Surely we have a bit of music for this. Oh, careful now. Hang on, we'll find something. Not really. This kind of works, friends. This kind of works. It's toe tapping time. What a machine this is. Freezoid, many thanks for the follow. Welcome in, man. $182 knots. Get in there. Jesus, mind the ground. Absolutely built it. It's awesome, isn't it? Scott says, the overhead view doesn't look right. Can't see the fat sponsons. Sponsons? What a machine, though, isn't it? Duke was fighting with the pylons. Oh, lads, look at this.
Hello there.
And there's like a ton of different liveries with this as well. Crafty Tigers, welcome in. The big bulges on the sides for gas. They're kind of there. Do they go bigger than that, though? You might think of them as mental love handles. Brilliant. Oh man, this is awesome. What great scenery in Turkey, right? It's gorgeous. Up over the hump. Got about, dare I say, about 70 miles out. More cowbell, good to see you, man. So we're on our way to the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, heading out to the Aegean coast. We've got about 70 nautical miles to go. And we're here in the CH47D. It's a stunner, this thing. Here's Colonel Fork. I don't have the F-18 installed. And I wouldn't mind, but you sent me the link. And so did Jay Winokur. Jesus. Colonel Fork sitting there. Murphy, you're dead to me. Ah, no, come back. You were a great crack. I keep forgetting to install them. But it's alright, Colonel Fork. I mean, if anyone was ever going to coin Mooney Typhoon, it's Colonel Fork. The Mooney Typhoon, right? Man, look at the scenery. Jesus. Too close for missiles. Switching to guns. Could you imagine? Wait, wasn't there a Black Hawk in there as well? Wasn't someone making a Black Hawk? There's a freeware one, but like, weren't they really giving it socks for that? Ooh, pylons. Mind the pylons. Blackbird? You stopped flying the freeware one? Yeah, it needed too much work or something, didn't it? Who looks so young? Oh, Top Gun. I thought you were talking about me there for a second, lads. You know, it's younger Murphy's looking. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at the scenery. Jesus, lads. This is stunning. I mean, who comes up with these routes? Tom Cruise, not you. Not even the guy in the tub of ice. Mind the trees. There's John Moore camping an F-14. I think we can all agree, lads, the scenery tonight is off the friggin' hook. Look at it. Isn't it amazing? These routes in 24 are going, yeah, 100%, Sean. They're going to be incredible. And like, there's, you know, last week's flight, 2 of the flights last week and tonight, these are just stunning routes. And yeah, we're going to have to try these in 2024 for sure.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Boy, that escalated quickly. Don't hit the mountain, Murph. Would you? Oh, look at that! Look at the cut of that! Jesus! We nearly hit another one, it's alright! Ah, lads, this is incredible scenery. 117. This is savage speed. Sure, the Irish invented the mountains in Turkey. We did. Turkey has some awesome VFR scenery, it really does. Hey, Icarus is here. Love the Chinook, Murph. I didn't know you were flying or would have jumped in. No worries, man. Great to see you. Kozaki. More Richard Burton. Holes. 303 holes, but a hole is a hole is a hole. Richard Burton. No one would have believed the last years of the 19th century that human affairs were being watched through the timeless worlds of space. What a legend! Few men even consider the possibility of life on other planets. Yet, across the Gulf of... What a... Brilliant! Left a bit, Murph. The Irish also invented the Turkish kebab. We did. Ah, look at the cut of this. Zero Walnut, that's a great name. The sound of these things. Forever Autumn, right? Richard Burton, a better Mark Antony than Mark Antony. Forever Autumn, that was a great song. Jeff Wayne's The War of the Worlds. Incredible. Saw him live twice. Wait. Yeah, twice. Brilliant. I never got a spin in a Chinook. I'd love a spin in one of these. They're freaking huge. What do they call the Grand Theft Auto? Cargo Bob or something, isn't it? Look at this. What you call it? Kebab in Dublin? Not a joke. They have different names all over the world. A bad choice after a couple of pints. Oh, this scenery, lads. Jeez, it's unbelievable. Look at this. Don't hit the mountain. Whatever you do, don't hit the mountain, Murphy. Jesus, that was terribly close. The radar altitude even went up. Freeman is looking for some tunage. Good call. Oz Flight Simmer has entered the chat. Welcome in, Oz. 36 months, you absolute legend. Like, it's just ridiculous what you can do, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Oz Flight Simmer, hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. Will the physics change for helicopters in 2024? Yes, they will. They've added in, well, there's four, they've enhanced the physics model within the sim, right? So they've added stuff in, but there's also now, there's four different forces working all together, including the new kind of tandem motors, or rotors in particular. So we're going to see we're going to see a change for these choppers now. First time I had sheep brain soup. Wait, what? Was in Turkey. Jesus, it was after a night out and it tasted excellent. The next time I had it, I was sober. Not so good the second time. Doc Blues was a medic in the Navy, spent 2 years with the Marine Corps Air Wing, used to fly the 46 and the CH53 and the Hueys. Nice, man. Hey, Brett Plays is here. Good to see you, Brett. How are you, man? You're looking well. Hope you're having a great day, dude. I've got the stutter bug. Have to restart the sim. Oh no, Eamon. Eamon, remove your controls if you have your controls. That was one of the biggest issues on my setup. And I would also remove FSU IPC, like, completely. Right, we are halfway there. Now we have these massive mountains over here on the right hand side. We might start drifting towards those a bit, lads. All the vineyards here, look, isn't it gorgeous? I always thought the back of a Chinook looked like an offended frog. Or an offended frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Jesus, look at your man there beside us, look. Savage. Olive groves. I mean, that's what I meant, Dougal. Yeah, they weren't. The olives. Yes. Not wine at all. Jesus, some people might think I have a problem. FSU IPC causes stutters. Yep. Unfortunately, it does. If you. Now, Rafa. There's a terrible pause. Rafa, if you're getting stutters, that's where I'd start looking. If you're not getting stutters, leave it be. Right? Jesus, what are the Turks doing with all the olives? Nazili is over here. That's a big town. Look. Jesus. Twits. No, this isn't the M Scenery Chinook. Jesus, don't mention that name in here. This is from Miltech Simulations. The M Scenery Chinook. Hang on. There it is. The M Scenery Chinook. Live on the stream. Look at it. There it is, lads. Ah, Jesus, brilliant. Mother of Jesus. Stories from me are gone since deleting the DX cache. Yeah, that works as well. I was told I look a lot like Stanley Kubrick now on stream. Maybe I should get a haircut and buzz the beard. Nice. Where are we going? Oh, we're going this way. Sorry, lads, I'm not a fan of them. And I know people will say, oh yeah, but look, they're grand, or they give me fun and all this sort of stuff. No. Absolutely not. I don't care. It's my opinion. They should not be on the marketplace. End of story. They just shouldn't be. They're basically repaints. They're skins that just sit over aircraft. Not a fan of them at all. Hey, Monty is here. Good to see you. It's like they buy a 3D model, they horse it into the sim, they align, you know, a couple of sounds and stuff, and that's it, and then they sell it. And I don't care if they're priced low. No. Like, it completely arcades the whole thing. It's just, no. Out. Out and walk. Wait, now, did all the multiple... Oh, no, they're all over there, look. Man Murphy. Spam for the instant marketplace. Same for VA simulations. Yeah. Oh, I did, Sean. Like, here, Captain Sim, let's be fair now, right? The Hercules is quite good. The new one, the C-130, that's actually a good aircraft. So, Captain Sim might be kind of moving toward a direction. I would rate them higher than M Scenery. And Flight Federation. Get out and walk. The Storch is better than M. Right? I really don't want to see them in the new Sim. Sim Federation, that's the one, yeah. Like the M Scenery stuff, it's just... No, and they've so many aircraft, they've so many. Not a fan. Like you might say, for sure, look, they're not doing any harm. They are, they shouldn't be in the Sim. They just shouldn't. Easy now, Jemima. Easy now. Jefferson, if you can hear me, I did not know that. Brilliant. A flight of C-130s would be awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do one. I think the C-130 is decent, lads. I really do. They should have not released their no cockpit version. Oh yeah, 100%. What were they thinking? Do you know what I mean? Like, when they released the no cockpit version, they still had... It was still the best looking C-130 in the Sim from the external point of view. But like, what were they thinking? Do you know what I mean? But there should be like... I don't know. I get it. If people just want to fly around in something that looks like an aircraft and they're not really bothered, I mean, sure, I get that. But like, nah. There should be a standard. Or a minimum standard at least. And my biggest worry is, you know, all of those M Scenery aircraft, they make part of the KPI when they say, you know, the vast majority of aircraft will work in the next Sim. That's what the worry is, you know? Yeah, Muse, 100%. Just freeware, way better. Way better. Just, it's not my cup of tea at all. Now, I don't think less of anyone who buys them and flies them. Look, if you get enjoyment out of an add-on, that's great. It's brilliant. But I just don't ever... Unless someone asks me to buy one to review it or see what it's all about, I have no aspirations of having M Scenery aircraft in my folder. Or in my virtual hangar. Unless someone said, Murph, I want you to check this out, then I'm happily able to buy it. I'll show it off. It'd be Murphy's Law if one of them is actually good, and I'll say, do you know, it's not actually bad. But I doubt it, man. I really doubt it. B. Carla says, my wife is Turkish and I just bought her 2 olive trees and a new kitchen countertop. A sign of peace times. On November 19th, my... Mountains? Oh, Jesus! We're alright. B. Carlo, you nearly put us in the forest. My chances of not being bothered are greater. For November 19th? Brilliant. Gaseous Maximus definitely didn't run out of fuel just there. Ah, this scenery tonight though, this is incredible. It's incredible. Now if you're looking at that glare shield hopping around, you can turn that feature off as well if you like with this chopper. It's pretty good. Does anyone have M Scenery aircraft? And if so, what do you think of them? Like, you know, do they fulfill the purpose you wanted them to fulfill? And if so, man, that's great. Shane does. Turk Ferguson used to have them, or Turd Ferguson used to have them, but you deleted them. Were they just horrendously bad? I found that I really enjoyed the Turkish drink Raki. Ooh, nice. Telling you now, Sean, the hills are savage, aren't they? The Chinook wasn't possible to fly. I always thought those M scenery aircraft were for static scenery. Didn't know they flew. Yeah, they flew. How'd you get rid of the tablet? Muse, there's a little click point on the twisty thing in the tablet. Hit that, it disappears. Turkey's great. In the ancient world, it was Asia Minor. Yeah. Why Kanye says Typhoon and its pants, never again. I did a video on the top 5 worst rated aircraft, so I had to buy a bunch of them for the video. I'm so sorry, Murph, but I was taking one for the team. I will never be the same again. Oh, I need to check out that video, Oz. Jesus, how did I miss that? Twits, what are you trying to do? Exclamation point route. That'll be the area. Need an adult. What are you trying to do, Twisted? Man, this scenery though. I can just picture Port Oz. Still not clean. Still not clean. Easy. Man alive, this scenery is just off the friggin' chart, isn't it? LTBD, Lima Tango Bravo Delta is the nearest airport to us. We're about 20 miles out. Oh man, look at the cut. Isn't that absolutely spectacular looking? And that sound as well. Gorgeous. Right, more to the right a bit. Keen Laffer says, sad news today is the inventor of Velcro has passed away. RIP. Jeez. Keen.
Hello there.
Hello there. Oh, Jesus, mind the ground. We're getting close, friends. We're getting very close. When was the last time we all took the Chinook out, though? You know what I mean?
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works.
Every time.
Every time.
Oh, wow, look at the little lakey river thingamajig. Reservoir. Yeah, let's go with that. Look at the cut of this. Oh, yes. Don't bin it, Murphy. Don't bin it, Murphy. That's insanely pretty. Look at that, lads. Jesus. Lakey River thingamajig. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the thing with the water. Oh, look, there's a waterfall here as well, I'd say. Well, there should be, but there isn't. Oh no, it just dried up in this spot and the road went in. That doesn't seem... Oh look, there's writing on the wall, look! OSI? What? DSI? Bloody hell! What's DSI and why is it written on the ground? We need someone to go off and figure that one out, lads. Hey, Connor Plays, good to see you, man. Lenny Bobbins, right? What was going on with the scenery back there, lad? Jesus, look at the amount of you. Look, mother of God. Right, ooh. We're alright. We're alright. This is insanely good. How are we for fuel? No, we're alright. Keno, good to see you. Spinning here to the right. Oh, yes. Look at it. Jesus. We're doing good, man. We're heading out towards the Temple of Artemis. Hazy grey and underway. I'd say we were 15 miles maybe? Exactly 15 miles. The scenery is unreal, isn't it? It's absolutely staggering. And if you want to fly this back in your own time, the flight plan is always available over on our Discord. !Discord. That brings you to a link to our Discord, and that's where we all hang out. Ah, lads, that is a sight to behold, though. Look at the cut of it. It's just savage, isn't it? Right, we'll follow on this road. This should bring us up to the right hand side. The state. The tunage, right? Epidemic sounds for the tunage. So if we follow this road, I think this will swing us up to the right after we kind of go left a bit, yeah? Man alive, this scenery. This is taking us to the town of Ephesus. Flight Simmer, you have a great day, my dude. The school run, man. Be sure now to get a coffee or something tasty on the way back. Do you know, you have to. It's the rule. Easy now. Stay with the road. Stay with the road. Oopsie daisy. Keen Lafford, you take care of me, dude. Have a good one. My neighbour took a short video of the Avro Lancaster the other day flying over their houses here in Canada. Ooh, nice. Oh, we are super close. Oh, nice. Follow me! Don't follow me! It's great to see the road in such detail, isn't it? Oh, hang on a second, friends. Hang on a second, friends. We have a target acquired. Look at this. Way off in the distance. Beautiful. Oh, yes. Look at the size of that building. Jefferson, you've absolutely done it again, man. Jesus. Forget that it should not crash into the roof. Well, don't worry about that at all, lads. We saw nothing. Hey, Trixillian, good to see you. Easy now. Easy now. We'll completely ignore the fact that we saw a heli, you know, impale itself on the roof. It's grand. Oh, we're on a huge hill. Will the parking brakes hold? They'll hold. Man alive. Jesus, look at the angle that we've landed at, look. Right, let's brighten things up here. Let's get a proper look at this, friends. Bloody hell, look at it. Isn't that spectacular, lads? He's done it again, hasn't he? Thousands of years of history and seconds to make a complete and utter balls out of, right? Incredible stuff, though. Incredible stuff. Let's go exploring. Isn't it absolutely savage, isn't it? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, look at the detail he's put in on this, right? So we've learned about it earlier on in the stream. The temple was built, then it was destroyed, then it was rebuilt, then destroyed, then it was rebuilt a third time, or, you know, built a third time, and then it was destroyed. Which is, well, Bijani then, you know, not good. Let's do a little bit of reading up on it now, right? So, where is this now? Where is this now? We're over here. So, rediscovery and the excavation. So, this thing, let me see, in the shadow of Roman and Egyptian gods. So, the Egyptians were involved in this as well, right? So, the goddess Artemis was worshipped in Ephesus. It was a complex figure. Unlike the Greek Artemis, who roamed the forest as a huntress, the Ephesian Artemis embodied fertility, protection, and abundance. She was a mother goddess adorned by what appeared to be rows of breasts. Through modern scholars debate this probably being eggs of fertility. In the expansion of the Roman Empire, Artemis became Diana. She was worshipped throughout the empire and in Egypt too. Artemis was venerated alongside Isis, and the goddess Ephesus symbolized protection and bounty for the entire region. Roman emperors, including Augustus, respected the temple's sanctity. Augustus himself reportedly marveled at the grandeur of Artemis's temple and acknowledged the significance of Ephesus as one of the principal cities of the Roman province of Asia. This became the second city in the Roman Empire, and that was second only to Rome, right? In time, however, well, the temple fell victim to decay and looting. Again, there was another... Christianity came around, right? And, you know, there was a lot of damage caused to it. The Bible states certain things, but, you know, there's... Mainly the Goths came down. Them mad, marauding horde of Goths. The barbarians, the Romans called them. They probably started off somewhere in Scandinavia, then they pushed down through Germany and all this sort of jazz. But anyway, the Goths came down and they kind of took out half of it. They looted the bejesus out of it. And in time, of course, then it started to decay. And other kind of Christian establishments would have kind of, broke it all up. The last thing that happened here, the stones that were once honoured a goddess were repurposed for other buildings. Also the Hagia or the Hagia Sophia or Hagia Sophia, what were they called? The Byzantines actually used all the stone here. They mined it down. They actually created a mine here, where the Byzantines, and they headed off, and of course they built Constantinople, modern day Istanbul, and in there the Hagia Sophia, I can't pronounce it, but anyway, they reckon parts of the building were used in the construction of that, which is nuts. So centuries passed, and it wasn't until 1869 British archaeologist John Turtle Wood rediscovered the site after years of searching. Beneath layers of earth, he unearthed the foundation stones of the temple and fragments of sculpted marble. During subsequent digs, archaeologists uncovered relics from the temple's past, columns decorated with relics, and a cache of coins thought to be amongst the oldest ever discovered. Dating back to 800 BC, and there was this kind of new design of gold mixed with an alloy. It was known as white gold. Incredible. Today, all that remains of the once splendid Temple of Artemis is a single column, a patchwork of disparate stones pieced together in homage to the marvel that once was. The site, now a modest ruin in the town of Selkirk, stands as a quiet tribute to the ancient world's most breathtaking achievements. The temple, columns held up the sky, the walls sheltered pilgrims and worshippers, and its stones whispered tales of gods, mortals, and dreams. It survived floods, arson, conquest, and centuries of abandonment. And though it may have crumbled away now, well, its story still remains. We're standing here in the shadow of, what Jeppesen has recreated for us. It really gives us a glimpse of the sheer scale and, marvel that was this temple. When you look at other buildings in the Greek world, the Parthenon, this thing dwarfs it in scale. Massive. Absolutely massive. So it's quite, it's quite remarkable. Do you know what I mean? And again, look, lads, the detail here that Jeppesen has gone into, you know what I mean? Get off the roof. Painstakingly look at this, Jesus. My frame rate is on the ground only because there's so many aircraft. Look at that. He's done such an incredible job. I'm just going to disappear in multiplayer for the minute because my frame rate is on the ground, right? There we go. And the detail Jepp has done here, it's just incredible. And this is all for free, lads. All of this scenery is for free. Exclamation point scenery. You can pick it up on our website, and it was all created by Jeppesen. Look at the detail. Isn't that incredible? And if we wanted to have a look at, modern day stuff, Temple of Artemis. Temple of Artemis. Oh. Wow. So over to Wikipedia, right? So this is what they reckoned it would have looked like. And this is what we're looking at here with what Jeppesen has created, right? The man's a legend. This is the current site. This is how it looks today. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? That's all that's left. It's just incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. That's all that we have left. A single column standing, in which there was 127 of these. 127. They were 40 feet tall, lads, right? So when we talk about, here's the fame of the temple here, some Renaissance pictures and stuff. Talk about a builder's crack, what? But it was known in the Roman world as the Temple of Diana, right? There's a story of your man being turned into a stag look. How it looks post Chinook, right? A drum at the base of a column from the 4th century rebuilding. So that's the base of a column. Look at the friggin' intricate detail that went into. Do you know what I mean? Like, absolutely stunning. And a lot of the artifacts, of course, well, they're in the British Museum. That's what they're housed, right? So a reconstruction plan of the temple, according to John Turtlewood in 1877. That's what he reckoned. Now, this is your one. The Lady of Ephesus. This is, of course, Artemis. Now, if you look at this, I mean, this is very... If you were to look at this, you'd say to yourself, Jesus, I'll show you what it all kind of means now, right? So, the crown symbolising kind of life, death, the whole lot. There's her look, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Seemingly the idea for years where these were like, you know, the many-breasted thing. But modern ideas are to say, well, no, this is to depict either, you know, the eggs of fertility or, like, you know, tits to suckle on. Right? And then as we move kind of down the way, her legs are bound with all this kind of stuff going on. It's quite fascinating. But if you look at this statue, right? This statue, I mean, looking at it, it doesn't look terribly Greek, does it? I mean, it doesn't even look Roman. It doesn't look anything like it. It looks Egyptian. Muse. It looks like it's Egyptian, especially if you look at her eyes. Right? It's very similar to that of an Egyptian kind of statue, isn't it? It looks Egyptian, yeah. Isn't it nuts? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Traditional interpretation, 16th century in
Welcome to my
Tivoli.
secret underground day.
In Italy.
That's a big 10-4,
It's
good
nuts.
buddy.
JC, welcome in. Here's another one in Naples, 2nd century. So if you ever see this, now you know what it is, instead of saying Jesus. Here's a panoramic view. I love these, look. Hang on now. Click that button. There we go. So this is the whole site now today. Isn't it quite fascinating? Fascinating! What once was, you know, a wonder of the world, that's all we have left.
Dougal, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Right? Now, you might say, well, how did he find this place? Well, he was actually working on an excavation. He was working on an excavation of a, whatchamacallit, an amphitheatre, which isn't far from here. And he came across this. A Roman copy of the Greek sculpture Diana of Versailles. And that's in the Louvre in Paris. And the brother of Apollo and daughter of Zeus. I mean, the detail here, like, were you ever in the Louvre? The Louvre. Beautiful. With a quiver. Ancient Greek. Again, even the drawing. What does that remind you of? The style of drawing, like, you know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. That's kind of the famous one there. Apollo and Artemis, Tondo of the Attic Red figure, 470 BC. 470 BC, look. Greek mythology, it's nuts. It's fascinating, you know, but it's nuts. And so, like, some of these artifacts, like an amphora of like 510 BC, 510 BC, like, Jesus. Isn't it mad, lads? I've always said that the Greeks, a great bunch of lads, you know. Coin from Artemis, Deer Bull Club Quiver, 330. Like some of the oldest coins that we have, isn't it nuts? It is fascinating stuff though. And, you know, Here we are in a flight sim. All the Renaissance pictures, look. Here we are in a flight sim, and those women were in the nip. We're in a flight sim, and we get to experience kind of this stuff, this sort of learning. It's incredible. There's one here, the Roman Temple of Artemis in Jordan, built during the reign of Antonius Pius. Look at that. Look at that. Or if some say the Greeks invented the Irish, but some say the Romans. We invented them all. The Irish invented the whole shagging lot. But of course we did, right? The final form was once the seven wonders of the world. There she is there, look. That's all that's left today. Isn't it mad? Yeah, Gibbo, he'd love this. This is right up his alley. It's fascinating though. And like, hopefully now we've learned something about all of this. Because, I mean, where else would you learn this stuff? Some might do it in school, but like, usually you don't, right? They don't kind of, you know, unless you're studying the classics or all this sort of jazz. And like, there's so much information there. And like, when you think about it in this time frame, you know, you're talking, what, 500 BC to, I mean, this thing went on and on and on. 2nd or 3rd century AD. An awful lot of the art and architecture of that world, how that influenced, you know, the Roman world, and then, you know, the Roman Empire, then the break of the Roman Empire, splitting into the Holy Roman and the Byzantine and all the jazz. The impact that all had, the art, the architecture, the literature, the whole... There's a great name there, genealogy there. I'm not even going to zoom in, but if you can read that, you know, there's Phoebe, look. So Uranus, that's how it's pronounced, and Gaia, Cous, Phoebe, Cronus, and Rhea, Leto, Zeus, Apollo, Artemis, right? Hera, Poseidon, Hades, Demeter, Hestia, Ares, Hephaestus, you know, Dionysus, Aphrodite. Now you're really getting into the world of Greek mythology. And what the Romans managed to do with that. You know, they kept Zeus, but they renamed him Jupiter. Yeah? It's absolutely fascinating. But again, lads, it's looking at this, like, here it is. I mean, this is, like, we're in a friggin' flight sim. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's incredible to think that, you know, through Jepson's imagination and, like, pure skill, he can build this so we can actually have some sort of an idea of what it was all about. I love this. Like, you know, the classic history, Roman history, I mean, that's what I'm really interested in. But this is, like, it's stunning. You can also go inside here. Hang on, we zoom down here, right? You can go exploring around the whole thing. Like, the work Jepson put in, it's ridiculous. It's nuts. Here we are inside, lads. Inside the temple. And there'd she be, look. Isn't that savage? Age of Empires doesn't give us this. It really doesn't. Isn't that savage? That's in our sim now. Incredible. Is that from Hello Hello? Catch you, stupid women. But even the detail he's putting here, look. Like, what a series. Like, the work he's done is friggin' nuts. Can you get through from this side, or is there a passage somewhere else? You can go through the door all right, but maybe there's a passage down the side somewhere, is there? It's just incredible, isn't it? Jesus, get out of the roof, Murphy. Get out of the roof, Murphy. I'm after getting stuck up in the roof. We'll go back in the door, look. Isn't it class, lads, isn't it? So can we get the emotes of Jefferson into the chat? Because he's done, like, incredible work. Absolutely incredible work. And to think, I mean, this, you know, it's, sadly, this is no longer in existence. The whole building is gone. There's one single column left. That's it. Nothing else. Do you know what I mean? So my keyboard was mental there and only gave me half the message. Muse, I didn't know how to respond to that. You know what I mean? Incredible work, Jefferson. Absolutely incredible work. Off the floor. So there we have it, lads. The Temple of Artemis. Ancient world wonder number 5 on our list. We're getting close. We're nearly done. We've 2 left. And we've got more detailed buildings over here, look. Just to throw them in. Isn't it class?
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Like, it was rumoured that there was another temple on this site as well. But there's no kind of hard fact to, you know, substantiate those claims. It was just rumoured. They went looking for it, but they couldn't find it. Which is very good, though, isn't it? Class. Absolutely class. The guys on the roof should show some respect. Are they still on the roof? Get off the roof, you shower. Jesus. Jepson, you've done an incredible job here, mate. What has been your favourite ancient wonder so far, lads? Out of the 5 now we've seen, you know, the Temple of Zeus, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Great Pyramids, and now we have the Temple of Artemis. Has Jorg watched any of these? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to annoy him. Hey, Jorg, look at these. I might, though. I might just annoy him and say, Jorg, look at this. Like, isn't it mad, lads? We're using a flight simulator to, you know, do some serious, you know, historic friggin' learning. And it's fierce interesting stuff, you know. Sure, he doesn't even know who you are. Who are you? No one's even heard of you. It's pretty mad, isn't it? Tough one. Gonna go with the gardens. The gardens were pretty cool, yeah. How do you like Palm Springs Airport? Palm Springs? Yeah, it's good. Any airports from Mini are good. Any bills. Anything. They're usually good. My favourite one is probably LAX. That Any Bill's made. I think it's very, very good. Right, lads, that concludes our looking around the place. Time to put down this majestic aircraft over at the runway. Bring the time back to where it was. We'll go ahead and get multiplayer turned back on. This is going to be a barrel of laughs. Commander Freezer, good to see you, man. Welcome in. Right. I left us in this position. This is going to be tricky now to take off. Let's see what we can do here, sports fans. Collective coming in. Bit of Toby. Easing out. And we'll back away. Give the sim a few moments to load back in the folks. There we go.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Vivid Clarity, thank you very much indeed. Prime subscription, cheers. I think we'll just circle around it again. It's absolutely stunning, isn't it? This is gorgeous, lads. He's done such a great job here. It's incredible. The work of Jeppesen 2001, it really does know no bounds. Man, isn't that something? It's absolutely savage. Right, to the airport. You gotta love the chopper flying. They're so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, it should be a case of just popping them into your community folder. There should be no issues. I mean, it's not, I mean, they're not heavy on frame rates, any of that jazz. Easy. Easy. Man, so many aircraft here tonight. I'm loving it. Loving it. It's over that way a bit. There we go. All right. You deleted the mod and the game restarted fine. It could be... Make sure... When you download it, there should be a folder inside that zip folder. You have to unzip it and then pop it into your community folder. Must go into the community folder. When was the last time you saw so many helicopters like that? Isn't that incredible? Absolutely savage, lads. Sterling, you take care, dude. Have a great one. Well, lads, I gotta say, that was a lot of fun. When you want the mod to work after installing it in the community folder, where do you click? You don't. Thanks, Doc. We'll have a look. Once it's in your community folder, it should be just there. I'll show you, look. So when you download it, you go into wherever your community folder is. If you don't know where it is, Teresa, ramble over to our Discord, just put in ! community folder. You'll see the address. You literally just drop it off in here. Jefferson Ancient Wonders. That's it. Don't do anything else. Once you drop the folder in, when you open the folder, that's what you should see. So it should say Jep 2001 Ancient Wonders and then this. If you're not seeing that after the first click into the folder, you'll probably find another folder that says Jep 2001. Then that's the folder you need to pop in there. Alright? You shouldn't be getting any crashes. You really shouldn't. Jep, there's no dependencies with this scenery, sure there's not? I don't think so. Right, lads, that will do it for tonight. I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. That was an awesome flight. The scenery, absolutely off the hook tonight. And getting to fly these choppers with you guys, that was just incredible. And we saw plenty of fixed-wing aircraft as well. It was so much fun. Again, the incredible work by Jeppes in 2001, creating all of this stuff for us for free. It's amazing. It really is. So, we're going to be back tomorrow night. We're doing some truck sim. Anyone who likes to do a bit of European truck simulator. We'll be doing that Tuesday. Wednesday night, we're bringing the news. We're checking out A new release from Orbex, a Super Pits, a brand new scenery. We also have the MiG-25, and Raoul is going to be joining us for an L chat as well. Don't forget there's a dev stream on Wednesday, and they're looking at the marketplace, so do be sure to catch that one. Then on Friday night, friends, we'll be taking the brand new Airbus A380, the fly-by-wire version, the A380X. We're going to be flying out of Toulouse, that's where they build them. We're going to head down to Madrid and then over to Barcelona. So we got an airliner flight happening this coming Friday. It's all go. But guys, thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. Really do appreciate all the support, all the likes from YouTube, all the follows, subscribes, all the gifted subs. Lads, thank you very, very much indeed. Insane support as always. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed tonight. It was so much fun flying the choppers. We got to do more choppers, you know. So right, until the next time, you take care. You didn't use your indicators. Electricity must be expensive in your truck, is it? Christ! Oh no, a terrible accident! Jesus! Did you jump? Oh, I nearly passed out with the laughter. Did you just see what happened? Jesus! That's oh no, oh god, oh dear! It's like a friggin' Olympic somersault! What was that, Dwayne? Brilliant!